I'm back! And welcome to part 2 of making G5 ponies look better because, oh my lord, why are they looking at me like that? I want to keep this intro short, but first I wanted to thank you all for your positive feedback on the first video. I really loved reading your guys' comments. It made the whole thing so much more fun because of your interactions. So, if you'd be so kind, maybe do it again for this video. I don't know. Alright, today I'm doing Izzy, the first new friend Sunny makes other than an earth pony. And just to get this out of the way, I know how much Izzy gets compared to Pinkie Pie, and I get it, like, they share the same energy and comic relief vibes. I mean, I don't like that though. Personally, I think that her being like Pinkie Pie is just a detriment to her character overall. And that's coming from, like, the #1 Pinkie Pie lover, okay? So you can't argue with me. Let me explain. So when Izzy first came to Maritime Bay, she meets Sunny, and from there we have an energy, and later in the movie we find out the lantern set by Sunny, like, 10 years ago, came to Izzy. So she came to Maritime Bay to meet the Earth Ponies. What? No, that's basically a death sentence, right? I mean, just think about it for more than a minute. Even if Earth Ponies don't have powers such as flight or magic, they still are another race which is actively vilified by the unicorns as well as Pegasi. Add in the fact that Izzy has no magic of her own, just like all the other unicorns in G5, and you start to see where the problems come in. The logic behind this choice is naive at best and self-destructive at worst. To a certain extent, I'm not wrong. There's cages and traps for unicorns all over town. When Izzy first shows up, everyone's like chasing her and trying to get her, and aside from that, in the movie, Izzy has very little to offer character-wise. The most she does is join Sunny on her adventure, just like the rest of the cast. All I'm trying to say is that she has little to offer. Now, if you ask me, G4 was better at making characters unique, which isn't a hot take, but I want to use Pinkie Pie as an example. Just think about it. Think of Pinkie Pie's motive. She throws a party for Twilight when she first moves to Ponyville in the beginning of the series. Not just because she's the party pony, but she's genuinely thoughtful. Goes out of her way to throw parties for ponies who are new in town, even though she doesn't really know them. Just so they can feel like they belong and have a place in Ponyville.
You haven't met anyone yet, you must not have any friends. And if you don't have any friends, then you must be lonely. And that made me so sad, and I had an idea. And that's why I went,
She's the element of laughter, but wanting to make ponies laugh is a part of her thoughtfulness. Helping everyone laugh when they're scared is her way of comforting her friends in the pilot once they're in the ever-free forest. And she demonstrates these qualities throughout the show for a variety of creatures, especially her friends. Like that one episode where Gilda shows up and is being a bit of a meanie, but she doesn't really put her hoof down till Gilda's being a meanie to one of her closest friends, Fluttershy. I could give a few more examples, but I think you understand the point. Now, compare this to Izzy Moonbow. Her lack of genuine motive makes her character fall apart. Like, when she shows up just because a random letter shows up to her doorstep that was presumably written by an Earth Pony and not some awful prank by one of the honestly very, racist unicorns, because everyone in this freaking movie is racist. I just feel like that this is an awful motive for her to just go out into Maritime Bay for no reason. It's just, it feels like there was little thought put into it. Underdeveloped, and honestly, kind of takes me out of the movie a little bit. I mean, like, they set up this entire thing about how much the Earth Ponies hate unicorns, and how much the other races also hate the other races. Now they're split up, and they live in their own areas, but then Izzy goes out of her way to go there. Like, I just don't think it's productive. So if it were up to me to change her character, I'd start with motive. I mean, most good characters have a more complete motive. One way could be if she was genuinely lonely back at home. They lightly touch on this in the campfire scene, but I feel like they didn't really do it right. I just want more context, and it'll give me more to work with. I didn't remember this whole campfire scene till I rewatched the movie for this video. Yes, I just like to torture myself like that, and make myself get frustrated. I really want them to lean into the sadness of her trying to find friends. Her attempting to actually make meaningful connections with the people in her town because they're also, I don't know, depressing? I mean, you don't pick these drab colors for nothing. Having loneliness as her motive could also give her empathy for the other characters. Considering Sunny had Hitch and Zip had Pip, for all we know, Izzy could have been isolated her whole life. To go more in depth with it would benefit her in a lot of ways. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but it's better than just, I came here because I saw a piece of paper flying near my home. Anyways, due to the experience of being lonely, she could understand the emotions of other ponies much better. Like when she helped Sunny make a friend with other ponies. Like whole thing that went on with the Pegasi? Is it Pegasuses or Pegasi? Hold up. Wow, that's super unhelpful. Anyways, so you could replace a lot of this vaguely, honestly idiotic behavior with genuine emotional baggage? I don't know. Something that makes more sense. Also, you could replace that entire fire camp scene or whatever, instead of the whole, oh, I actually had the letter the whole time, with a scene of, I don't know, actually creating a bigger bond between the five. I understand that having this big of a cast can be hard to make each one recognizable and unique, but I feel like this entire scene is just wasted time if everything's just going to end up being bland. Back to the design itself, it's quite, well, I guess there's nothing actually wrong with Izzy's original design. I feel like it's a lot less painful to look at than Sunny's. That being said, I feel that the main reason I do not really like this design is because a lack of originality. It just doesn't feel like a unique design. It's a purple pony, because, you know, girls. And, she's, got blue hair, ooh. I feel like it's not really creative. And she doesn't really stand out in a list of, honestly, colorful and more interesting ponies in this MLP universe. So I went out of my way to make sure she had some more differentiating stuff. In the video, the last one, I went on my way to talk about how much I loved the on-the-nose names. So I definitely repeated that here. I thought it was a crime that her name was Izzy Moonbow and she didn't have a bow. Feels like a scam. So, you know, that had to happen. Also, I had like a lot of trouble trying to figure out what would make her stand out with her mane and coat to make the mane lighter and the coat darker. And look, I know I did the same thing with Sunny technically, but still, I feel like since I made her mane so much lighter, it still makes her look more unique. Sorry if that sounds repetitive to you, but I mean, I just would rather have this more whimsical design rather than basic purple color and primary blue. Congratulations, you've done it. Just on the topic of the designs in the movie, I gotta say, if there's one thing I did like about them, it's probably the horn designs. I like the fact that they have individual grooves. It's like a fingerprint, but, you know, with horns. I mean, we've all seen the unicorn horns with just like the line or whatever, or the swerve. But having these unique markings, I think, really does set it apart from other unicorns, or at least other unicorn characters in general, not even just MLP. And there we go. I tried my best. I'll admit, I think that I do like the Sunny one more, but I still do prefer this design over the movies, personally. But of course, as always, you can tell me in the comment section if you like mine's more, or you like the movie's design more. Honestly, I just really want to hear your guys' opinions. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I love to hear them. Now, I gotta go. Stay cheesy. God, I'm actually gonna start using that.